Endless Shadow by John Brunner. I decided I liked John Brunner about 40 years ago. Not so much because his stories were great, but because he was so prolific. I wanted to be a published author, and I developed a great deal of respect for writers who were able to put out a lot of work in a short amount of time. Most of Brunner's work is not very memorable, but his books were everywhere when I was just getting started as an avid fan of science fiction. In addition to having a special place in my heart for Brunner, I have a similar love for ace doubles. In case you don't know, ace doubles were cheap paperback books that featured not one but two short novels published back to back. I loved them. They originally sold for 40 cents, so when I found them at used bookstores, they usually only cost me a quarter, 25 cents for two science fiction novels. Around the age of 12, this was exactly the sort of bargain I was looking for. If the stories were a little lame, which they often were, at least they were short and did not take much time to read. This ace double novella by John Brunner is only about 31,000 words. I read it in a single sitting. There have been a lot of science fiction stories about slower than light travels to the stars going wonky once faster than light travel is achieved. A common idea in such stories would be a starship setting off for a distant galaxy in a slower than light craft. Meanwhile, faster than light travel becomes a reality. Then the new, faster than light craft actually reaches the destination long before the original starship, which left hundreds of years ago. In this novel, Endless Shadow, there are planets all over the galaxy that were colonized by humans long ago. Now that an instantaneous teleportation technology has been invented, these worlds are being evaluated to see if they are suitable to be included in the teleportation network. On one world, males are slavishly subordinate to females. On another world, called Azrael, religion teaches that life is evil and the highest good is death. Good people are encouraged to murder someone else and then suffer the death penalty themselves. This way, they can release two souls into a pure afterlife. Jorgen Thorkild is the manager in charge of the teleportation network, which they call the Bridge System. When he sends an investigator named Chen to evaluate culture on Azrael, the man is murdered, necessitating sending yet another investigator. A variety of stresses cause Thorkild to have a nervous breakdown. In a mental institution, he meets a young woman who is overwhelmed by the cultural diversity of planet Earth. If all of this seems a bit confusing, don't worry, it is confusing. This story was clearly thrown together quickly and would have benefited by further development of both the characters and the issues presented. I even read a few reviews I found online to make sure the problem wasn't just me. After all, I did read it rather late at night. The general consensus was that it was a hastily constructed and confusing narrative. Was I impressed with Endless Shadow? No. Did it make much sense? No. Did I enjoy reading it anyway? Yes. Does that make me a literary masochist? No, I don't think so. It just makes me a literary omnivore who doesn't mind sifting through the rubbish to find the few valuable nuggets contained there, no matter how meager. I look forward to reading more of the many books by John Brunner. He began publishing in 1958, the year I was born, and published dozens of novels before his death in 1995. Stand on Zanzibar is widely considered his best science fiction work. Maybe I'll try that one soon. Endless Shadow by John Brunner. Glad I read it, but cannot in good conscience recommend it to others.